So you started when you were 17 as a stand-up, which is kind of, I mean, you occasionally hear of these child
but it
stand-ups,
wasn't, I wasn't
but you weren't
good.
a
I was crap, and I was terrified, and I wasn't doing it a lot. Like, I did a few open mics, and I was just like shaking.
Right.
And in my head, I didn't know what I was. All of my jokes were like about how fat and ugly I was. And like my A levels, like they were just so like they weren't really punchlines. They were just like vague. Because I would like try and write for the gig, and then I'd get so nervous thinking about the fact that I had to do the gig that I then would put off the work.
Yeah.
And then I'd be at the gig and I wouldn't have any material.
Right.
So I would just sort of like have 5 minutes and think, how am I going to fill 5 minutes? That's so long. And then I would like, my mum would be waiting for me downstairs. And I'd be like, you're not allowed to come in. You're not allowed to listen. And then she didn't really understand why I was doing it. And then I would like run away and without even saying goodbye to anyone. So I think it sounds like I burst onto the scene and I was this rebellious, but I wasn't. I was incredibly shy and anxious and like really had so much anxiety about performing. And then did like sketchy stuff for a few years and then properly started when I was like 21, 22.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, but even when I came to London, I guess when I was 22, 23 and started doing stand-up then, and looking back at it, it sort of still feels, you know, the audience would have been probably 5 to 10 years older than me in most of those things.
And they don't respect you.
No, they don't respect you. But I mean, if you're 17
they just
and you're talking about your A-levels,
yeah, look at Uranus.
what kind of, I mean, people might have nostalgic memory for
or they just sort of think, oh, bless your heart. They just think, bless you. I think I had so much of those gigs was me coming off stage and older women who were like in their early 30s or whatever, like strong women that were good at stand-up being like, almost looking in my eyes being like, oh, what's happening here? Like, why are you here? Why you don't need to be here, but like, well done, you did okay. It was actually Hills Yargo, do you remember? She was at my second gig and she told me, I'll never forget this, she said, because I wasn't getting a single laugh on my second gig, and she said to me, do 7 more gigs. If you don't get a laugh, stop forever.
Right.
And I'll never forget her saying that to me. And I just remember thinking, oh yeah, okay, I better get better then. Yeah. You know, it was so like severe.
And did you do 7 gigs and did you get a laugh in 7 gigs?
I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did at all. I don't think I've gotten one yet.
I don't think it's that. I mean, there's some truth in it, and it will be a better world in a lot of ways. If more comedians did do
are you good or are you not good?
10 gigs and gave up if they weren't getting laughs, because some people just persist for a lot too long.
Yeah.
Or they used to, certainly. I don't know how. Now I think it's so much different because it's so much more competitive, but you would see people, like in the 90s, you'd see people who were just on the open mic circuit, and it was easy to get off the open mic circuit then,
really?
And they would still be easier.
Now it's the Hotel California. It's so hard to get off.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, I think 7 gigs is too few. I think you can easily just be bad for a couple of years and then get it. I think Jim Tavare's I don't know if you remember Jim Tavare, but he was an example of someone who for years was not really making it, and then suddenly started doing an act with a double bass, and that sort of, and then got the persona and is an amazing comedian.
Or like John Kearns, like was doing straight stand up for a really long time, and then just did the wig and the teeth, and then for some reason it unlocked a new thing that he could do. Yeah.
So I think you've got to, you know, and that's the only good thing about the stand-up circuit being so hard to get into, is that you've got to find something to make you stand out, but also you've got time to do it. But you know, equally, we could gig. And I hated doing stand-up in the early 90s, but it wasn't really my thing. But you could basically just go and do an open spot, every day. And sometimes I did an open spot and got booked to headline the gig the next week. You know, it was that kind of...
And were they like bringer gigs? You had to bring someone?
No, not at all. So you wouldn't get paid for the open
You had
spot.
to pay to be on stage a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I had... God, my poor boyfriend at the time just came to all of my gigs.
And
then, like, the moment things started going well, we broke up, and I just felt so awful about it. But yeah, bringer gigs, God, that bless his heart. He saw like the same 5 minutes about 88 times. Bringer gigs, paying to be on stage, and you have to stay right to the end, and there are like 30 acts, and... The MC is, you know, a power-hungry Tudor king in, like, doing magic. Do you know what I mean? Like, forcing his magician tricks on everyone. Yeah. And also there are so many weird power games. And I used to care so much about, like, I really want to headline this open, like, but you have to care about each stage really a lot.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You really have to care about, like, being good on the open, people respecting you, and like I remember doing the Cav Arms and being like, I really want to win the cup, because there's like a tiny cup that they give that's like an audience vote at the end, and they can give you a little cup. And I remember doing it 3 times and I didn't win the cup, and I was like, fuck, like I just need to win that cup. And it's like, no one, who cares? Who cares about the cup? But like I needed to care at the time.
Yeah. It's no, it's you know, and you do. I mean, it's. I look back at my starting relatively young, certainly at the time, and just the kind of the mixture of confidence and insecurity. It's just it's crazy. It's just this mix to be confident enough to try it. Yeah. And the same thing for you to be 17 and think I'm going to do this, and you know, but then. You know, but I'm sure you felt like, you know, like the way you're talking, it's like I wasn't getting laughs, I wasn't doing this. So you're sort of crushed by it, but also confident enough and then determined enough to keep going back.
And it was this determination and this deep sense of like, this is where I belong, I think. It was this sense of belonging, even if the skill wasn't there. It was like this kind of thing this is my soulmate, this place. Like, I know that this is a marriage for me. And it's not going to be easy. But like I also think I deliberately started at 17 because I knew from like age 14 that probably I was going to do stand up, or I knew I had some sort of demon in me that needed to be constantly let out in some kind of healthy way. And stand up was like the perfect form for that, because it was like diaristic and confessional, but it was rebellious and it was interesting and it made people happy, and it was a way to like make my angst valuable in some way, and that's why I really loved it and was attracted to it. And I think I did just think like very cynically, like if I started 17, then maybe by the time I'm 25, that's still pretty young, and maybe I'll be decent by then, and then I'm 8 years in. And that was kind of, I think, my logic.
And what was the is there a moment, or was there a year when it suddenly clicked? And you know, obviously you've got through that.
I think there have been loads of years. I think it's like surged and then plateaued and then surged and plateaued. And I think last year was definitely, like, my last Fringe show was the first. I think from that there was a big domino effect of loads of stuff that happened that I think I actually had gotten used to the fact that I was full time. I'd been full time since I was like 22, 23, but doing like just loads of live, like no industry stuff really, just like gigs every single day, going to Reading and Nottingham and Sheffield and doing Top Secret all the time. And like I loved that life, but it was like brutal.
Yes.
And it's 80 quid a pop, and so you just have to do like 15 gigs a week, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And then I think I'd seen like people in my peer group just completely ascend me and become like total superstars. And I like graduate out of that circuit, and I had gone through years of feeling like, oh, I'm not that good, and I'm not one of the chosen ones, and that feels crap. And then I think I had a moment, like it's really ironic because I genuinely had this like deep revelatory moment like 6 months before my last Fringe show, being like, I think actually even if nothing ever happens, this is enough.
Right.
This is completely enough. If it's always just these brutal live gigs and loads of travel, and I'm always on a train, and I'm always on with my backpack and it's wet, and every day I have to eat a meal deal for dinner, life is still way more meaningful than any other job I could ever do in the world. That is fine. And then my Fringe show went well, and industry stuff started happening for me.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, oh, it's really annoying because like I don't even care anymore. Like I do care, but like it's arrived at a point where I accepted it could never happen, and I don't like need it. I've detached from it now. But I think that Fringe show really like, almost because I'd let go and was just enjoying myself, people could suddenly tell. Like I think before I had this like real desperation, like please like me, like please kind of I was trying to reverse engineer shows to be critically acclaimed, and then they were just failing to be critically acclaimed, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna die. And then I was just like, whatever, I love doing stand-up, I love watching it, I love jokes, I'm just gonna do an hour of jokes that makes me feel good and hope that the audience like it. And then after that it was like, have I got news for you? And then after that it was SNL, and then things have just sort of like snowballed from there, really.
I mean, it's huge to get Have I Got News for You, and also do really well on it. I mean, the second time you were on, there was a meme that went round, which is just, I mean, a brilliant brilliant ad-lib joke. Which
Thank you.
Check it out.
Check it out, guys.
Online. We won't make you do it now. But you know, like it's very sharp and straight in and properly like a brilliant joke.
Yeah, thank you.
And so it's, you know, just to get even that one, because it's so difficult. And it took me, you know, I didn't do Have I Got News For You till I was like in my 40s, I think. Yeah, and I only did it twice. And it's so difficult. You know, I remember sitting there for the first 5 minutes thinking, I haven't said anything.
And you do all this prep and you have all this stuff. I had all of these little geeky jokes that I'd written with my friends. And I was like, I just forgot them. My brain went blank. I was so nervous. And it was like, you know, you meet 4 of your childhood heroes 30 seconds before going out under bright lights to an audience of people, and it's all being filmed, and you just have to deliver. And it's like, that is so, you have to just completely dissociate and pretend that you're not really doing it. It's just like a bit of a dream.
Yeah, it is. And I think like actually preparing, though it's good to prepare always. I'm not very, I like to, I think the reason I'm not on many of those shows is because I like to go, I'm going to just go with whatever happens. Yeah. But actually the bits where you go with whatever happens are the bits that I think work.
And actually like quite a few of the things that like, because a couple things I did on the first one went viral, and they were both things that I just said once an hour into the recording I'd relaxed.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck it, whatever. Well, I've tried all of my scripted little jokes that I prepared neurotically, and they kind of got a 40% of a laugh, and they probably won't make the edit. And okay, that was 3 hours crafting something for nothing. Yeah. So let's just chill out now. Yeah. And also, I'm not like, I do read the news, but I always go on that show and I feel so thick all of a sudden. And I'm just like, the only thing I'm thinking is, I'm a thick pig. I don't know anything. And then that's like, I'm paranoid. And then I'm just like, well, I have to just lead into the fact that I don't know it. And sort of make that the brand. Make that valuable in some way.
Yeah. But it is, and I think like the thing you're saying about just like not, when I came back to stand up in 2004, I just thought, because there's so many factors, like you say, you know, you think I want to get booked again, and you know, I want to do it. So I want to do an act that I'm proud of, but also I want to do an act that'll get me booked. And then you're caught between two stools.
Yeah, totally.
Or you're trying to do something that you think is the right thing to do. And when I came back in 2004, I just literally said, I'm just going to do whatever I think is good. It's funny, and I don't care how it goes down.
Yeah, exactly. Take a big swing. You might as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't split the difference.
No. So it's, you know, and I think that is the turning point for most people. I mean, obviously, you then have to be making people laugh as well. But
it's so hard to make people laugh. It's also, especially when you don't feel funny, when you feel like paranoid. Yeah. How are you meant to then be funny? My gigs always go the best when I kind of don't really care. Yeah. That's when the gold comes out, is when I've like been late to the gig, I'm on stage, I haven't really prepped something, I feel really chilled out. Yeah. Then the good stuff happens. So Have I Got News For You is like literally the opposite of that. It's tricky.